Oh, hey YouTube. It is Joel again, here recapping some Olympic figure skating. I just finished watching the team event in Beijing. Um, it was really, really fun. I love that there's a team event. Personally, as a skater and a skating fan, I just love that we get another extra competition. It feels like a little bonus, and I think it also feels like a little bit of a warm up to the main competition for the audience and maybe as well as some of the skaters. We have also seen in the past that skaters have skated amazing in the team competition and then not skated amazing in the individual competitions. So not sure how this one will go for Roman Sadovsky. Hopefully it goes that other way where he did not skate very well in the team competition, but hopefully he'll land those quads in the individual competition because he's so good. I think he just was nervous and obviously got thrown. Poor Roman got thrown in for Keegan because poor Keegan got COVID. Everything's happened to him. So I want to give props to Roman also for doing it. That must have been so hard psychologically to like wrap your brain around. Like you think you have a few more days to practice to get ready for the event, and no, bam, now you're in it. So starting with the short program, not any like major surprises. Obviously, Nathan Chen, like I didn't think he was going to have a repeat of Pyeongchang. I thought he was going to be able to come out and be consistent like he has been for the last quad, and he delivered. He skated so well. Just behind Yuzuru's like Olympic record or something like by a tiny little scotch. Shoma Uno was so amazing. His program was so beautiful. I missed the gray costume. It was really pretty, but I like the red. Yeah, his program was absolutely beautiful. And then the Russian skater Mark Kondratyuk coming in third. I think this actually went looking at the list, I went pretty much like I thought it would. I was hoping maybe Roman Sadovsky could have gotten a little higher. I'm Canadian, so of course I'm cheering on the Canadians. But there was a lot of good skating, and some missed opportunities, let's say as well. And pairs short, I really like this event because a lot of the skaters that are at the very top only do the short program, so it's like its own mini little competition within the bigger competition, and you get to see all like the best skaters. So here we had the Chinese team win just over Machine and Galyamov, even though potentially I think they should have been scored even higher. And then Alex and Brandon coming in third, which is amazing for Team USA. And this is kind of when, like, after Nathan skating and then Alex and Brandon getting third, really like staked the US's claim in this competition, I think. And then, boom, Hubble and Donahue win the dance. They were so good. And the Russians, who were slated, I think, expected to win, had several fumbles through their step sequence, twizzles. And yeah, the Italian team in the dance, I've seen them skate so many times. They're lovely. They're just not my favorite. I don't feel anything from them. And I also kind of think Michael Jackson programs should be done. And then, yeah, the women's went pretty much exactly how I thought, other than Madeline Skizis. So obviously Kamila Valieva won by like a million points. Japan, Wakabaguchi got in there, did her job, kept Japan in the mix. And then Madeline Skizis getting third in this group. Like, I think that was definitely possible for her. But she was determined, you could tell, and she was feeling herself the last half of her program. So I'm so proud of her. First time Olympian. She's so good. Yeah, so the women's event was good. I really also loved Anastasia Gubanova. She's so stunning, elegant, and her elements are really strong. She's got that really tight center when she's spinning. If her jumps are on, I'm very interested to see what's next for her. And then free skate. The free skate was kind of wild. It was like Yuma coming out, crushing it. So we have Japan picking up points. Mark Kondratyuk again. He's just keeps skating clean. Even on his jumps when they're like a little wobbly on the landing, he somehow manages not to put a hand down, even on like the worst landings. So the odd time he like has a 3-turn out, but that's about it. It's quite very impressive. So the jumps aren't always beautiful, but often they still get a little bit of a positive creative execution because they were landed on one foot and there was like a minimal amount of flow, even though they weren't pretty. So he's doing his job. Vincent Joe was good. Not he could have been better, obviously. And then the other guys, like Boyan Jane, did not land his program very well, and Roman kind of had a meltdown. So unfortunately, luckily in this event, you can't lose that many points for coming in last. But Roman was very in last. So I was glad that Maddie Skeezes skated so well that we got into the final. And I was hoping maybe we could sneak in for a bronze, but not this time. I think the point gap was too much anyways after the short, so it wouldn't have really mattered. But yeah, so the men were great. The top guys were really good. The pairs was exactly what I thought it was going to go, except for Mishina and Galyamov having that fall at the end, like where it looked like he was literally like throwing her into the ice, but then at the last second, like took on the like major damage of the fall. He was not pleased. He's such a diva. I love him. Alexander Galyamov, such a diva. And I think he was just really shook up. Like he was stunned. He just was like robot face, no emotions. Like, yeah, kind of scary. So hopefully they still won. They were so good. Hopefully they can shake that off because they're like in the running to win this, or at least medal, but that I think they could win. So hopefully they keep skating the way they've been skating in the past and let this go. The Japanese pairs team, I love them. They're so cute. Their throws have improved so much. She just fights for those landings, like heavy knee bend. It's very impressive. She's so small. It's very impressive. We also saw controversial entry to the Olympics, Vanessa James and Eric Radford. They skated pretty good. They didn't have any crazy errors. And they landed their throws, and yeah, I thought they were pretty good. I don't skate to fallen. I don't I mean, they didn't fall, which is good, but like, don't skate to fallen. It's a bad idea. And then it was interesting because in that group, I wouldn't maybe have put Alexa and Brandon at the very bottom. I probably would have put Canada. And Eric and Vanessa beat them by a couple points. So that's very interesting. And and Alexa had some errors on her jumps, so that kind of made sense, actually. And then in the ice dance, so I'm not the hugest ice dance person. Sometimes I don't watch it at all, I will admit. But I've been, in the later part of the season, I usually get a little more into it because all the programs are more refined and it gets more exciting. So I have been watching the ice dance, and I love Chock and Bates' alien program. It's so weird, and I love it. She can sell anything. Her showmanship and sparkle on the ice is undeniable. Evan is just kind of there being the perfect frame. He's like a really good partner, and he doesn't really pull focus. Like, you watch her and you watch him around her. It works for them. And watching the programs, I was like, I think the Russians are pretty close, so they'll probably give it to the Russians, and they didn't, and I'm shocked. So cool. I can't believe the US team won both the short and the long program. And I really am thinking one of them is going to medal, because clearly Piper and Paul are not on the judges' radar as one of the absolute top teams in medal contention. They were put in third here, and they skated very well. So beautiful. And they were only a few points back. But you can just tell that they're not being judged to that same standard as the Russian team, the two American teams, and the French. So different story. I'm very curious to see the podium of the ice dance individual competition. And then obviously the event ended with Kairi Sakamoto, with Camila Valieva just winning. She even fell, like, was so mad at herself, crushed the rest of the competition by over 30 points with a fall. Kairi Sakamoto is so powerful and amazing, and I've always loved her cute little face, but now she's like serving this woman program, and I love it. Her dress is really cool. She has huge elements. She's been working really hard, and I love Kari. And again, Maddie Skis is coming through for Team Canada. She was so good. She missed a Lutz at the beginning, and then the rest of her program was pretty much perfect. And so she skated twice now so far at these Olympics. She's going to skate 4 times total, and she's had 1 jump error, and just a little one. So that's pretty impressive. I'm very excited to see what she does in the future in skating, because I think another 4 years on her, she could be pushing towards the top of the podium. So that's very cool. I wanted to have a little sidebar about Zhu Yi, the Chinese skater. Very obvious that the Chinese pool of talent for the women's section of the competition was a little lighter. And she was so cute and she tried so hard, and she was so hard on herself at the end. And I just loved watching her. I thought she was so good. She had a few really amazing jumps throughout both programs, but she just wasn't. I don't think she was ready for this competition. Never had once been in an international competition before, and now you're at the Olympics. That's a bit much. So in your home country, that's a lot of pressure. The Chinese fans, the few Chinese people that were in the building, obviously are cheering her on very loudly, and I do not think it was helping her. Poor girl. But yeah, so overall, the the Russian Olympic Committee athletes, they won by quite a margin. Obviously they were going to score high in pairs, dance, and they were going to win the women's no matter what here. And then they scored really well. Mark's been killing it. They scored really well in the men's as well. So they were the most well-rounded, balanced team out of any of the other countries for sure. I think Japan was the only other team that could have maybe pushed the ROC team down, but I just think that their dance team is a little weaker, and they don't really have. They have really good consistency in the men's and the women's, and their pair team is doing a lot better. But yeah, they were hampered a little bit by their ice dance, which I think they knew. They really needed the ROC, someone from Russia to bomb, and everyone on the Japanese team to be perfect for Lee to sneak in for gold. It was really Russia's medal to lose, and they won. And then we have Japan. And then we have the States. Sorry, the States came in second. I thought they were going to be lucky to get a bronze at this, and they got silver. So that's wild. I'm stoked for them. I love all those athletes. And I'm again, really stunned about the two dance teams winning. Vincent Zhou showed up, did his job. Obviously Nathan Chen winning the men's in the beginning. And even with the US pairs team getting last in the free skate, didn't really matter. They secured themselves because the Japanese team just had a little bit of a weaker performance. So very cool. So it was 74 points for Russia, 65 for the US, 63 for Japan, and then 53 for Canada. So we were in fourth. I think we had some high highs and some low lows from the Canadian perspective. But I'm glad that we made the final. That's a big accomplishment. Yeah, I thought it was a really good event. I'm really happy the Olympics is happening. I know it's a controversial. In one part of me doesn't agree that it should be happening at all. The other side of me is very happy it is. So I'm loving watching it. I hope no one else gets sick. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at North Joel. I'm also on TikTok at North Joel. And comment below. Something nice. Thank you. See you soon.